Welcome back to the center of reality and beyond all of existence. Here we are, second live of the day, getting ready for the Jewish days of Sukkot coming up. Very extremely exciting time. One of the most exciting times of the whole year and beyond. It says that essentially on the Jewish New Year a couple of weeks ago, we revealed a new light of the Creator into the world that never existed before. That's what the New Year is about in the Judaism. It's not just the New Year, but it's the head of the year that directs all the other parts of the year. Because there's a new light of the Creator, according to the Chassidus, meaning that is drawn down on the Jewish New Year. But on the actual Jewish New Year itself, we create through our prayers during that time the new light of the Creator. But it's only revealed through the other holidays that happen after the Jewish New Year, like the day of Yom Kippur that we had, and then afterwards, Sukkot coming up. And here we are. Yeah, welcome back to the party. Hello. What's up?
You were talking about Yom Kippur?
Yes. Yummy. Someone in the comments was complaining that we weren't talking about Torah last time.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, I know. Well, we were talking about Torah ideas, just some people chose to maybe direct it to different places.
I thought it was pretty funny. I closed on Mashiach and I got a slight amen from the guy, and then my phone died.
Oh yeah?
It was mamish hashgacha pratis.
Nice. Yeah, that's the main thing. Just
I put it away.
Mashiach now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Meow. That's what the cat.
Okay, so you're schwitzing Tanya or you're schwitzing something else?
Well, I did have the label that says Tanya. I don't know. I mean, you recommended we just do Shaar HaYichud VeHaEmunah. Have you ever learned it like a little bit easier?
No. No, and that's why I was thinking about it. Like, if I wanted a chavrusa who wasn't Jewish for anything, that's probably the one book, because it's in depth, and it's like lechatchila to learn with some, like, for non-Jews to learn.
Even for Jews to learn as well.
Yeah, for sure. But but also especially like it comes up in all the places in like the recommendations. Like, what should they learn? Sheva mitzvahs and Shaar HaYichud. Like,
when's the last time you learned it, if I may ask?
I haven't. I still really haven't.
Never learned it? What about the first chapter?
I read through the first couple pages. It was like, okay, but kids are like, everything in the whole world comes down to reconfigurations of the letters of the 10 statements that the world was created with.
Yeah. And then how
that's the first page.
Chapter 1 is not so simple, because how it actually arrives at that conclusion, it doesn't really say. It's like based on the implications and stuff. Should we do it again now that you're here?
Sure.
All right, nice. So yeah, cool. Let's pull it up then. I'll switch my screen. I'm trying to make a new website.
I should say, that guy gave me such zitzfleisch. I argued the heck with that guy, and then I sat down and did my homework for a solid half hour.
Brutal. What homework?
For school, whatever.
Oh, okay, never mind. We don't believe in confessions. Judaism. Shaar HaYichud VeHaEmunah.
Okay, so
that's how you spell it.
So you have to have in mat mezer.
Let me fill it up. Showing the readers what to type in. Maybe I'll put it as a sticker later. But yeah, Tanya, Volume 2.
It's so funny.
Chapter 1. Tanya.
I tried jumping in on one of these group chats with Muslim guys, and this guy's talking a whole drasha for 10 minutes, and it's just he said only one thing over 5 minutes. I was like, okay, no, I get your point. And he was like, no, you're not being respectful. I'm like, maybe, but you're boring.
That's brutal. We gotta make our own lives. We can't rely on these radicals.
I can't jump on this. It's not fun.
Nice. Brutality.
I get it. It's it's a different culture. You're probably from Africa, Mamish.
Africanicals.
He was he has to talk very slowly and make his point 100 ways. And I was like, I understood from the first sentence what you were saying.
It's brutal. 2 words. Brutalistic.
Okay, so let's understand in a small measure the statement of the Zohar that Shema Yisrael is Yechidei Ilah. You should say Shema Yisrael. I should say Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. That's the hero Israel. The Lord is our God. The Lord is one.
Some people think it means the hero of Israel. By the way, people are just learning Hebrew. Like, oh yeah, hero of Israel means like we're talking about the hero of Israel.
The hero.
Yeah, exactly. Some people actually think that means that.
It means listen. You can say it more dramatically. You could say, "Listen, Israel, Hashem is one."
This is real. Is real.
Why?
2 words.
Let's give it a Satmar Taich.
Thoughts and more. Yeah. Nice. We're the only ones reviewing, but it's good. Spreading words of the
I'm
Torah.
enjoying your company.
Yeah, I'm accompanying the enjoyment. Yeah, so let's understand, at least in a small measure. Are you reading on the same place I'm reading? All right, no,
Yeah.
whatever. All right. Same as that. When you say the Shema Yisrael, the commandment to say Shema Yisrael at night, when we say it, that refers to say Hashem is our God. Hashem is one. So Hashem's one, but what kind of one? Different kinds of one. There's many different levels of oneness. What does one actually mean? I guess that's called a higher level of unity that it gets to later. Essentially, that there's nothing else besides for Him at all. And then it says after that we say another phrase: Baruch Hashem Kol B'chuz, blessed is the glory of His kingdom forever and ever.
And Kavod, I know I'm skipping here, but his Kavod basically is his galus. It's like the revelation. Is that correct?
Yeah, revelation. So relative to that, as it explains later in chapter 7, it's like relative to that unity, you could say the world still exists, but it's united with the Creator, as opposed to the first level, higher level of unity. It's like it's as if relative to that there's no world at all, because it's just total divinity. But the second level is like, okay, He made the world, but after He made the world, then like the world can unite itself with Him. That's called the lower level of unity, as opposed to the higher unity. So there's different levels of unity. When we say Hashem is one, unity in the sense of just being the only thing, or unity in the sense of being like the one thing. But I mean, we're one within the world itself, as it talks about later in chapter 7. But that's a while later. But yeah. So we're explaining how Hashem is all one, basically.
Okay, so God's one.
Yeah.
But specifically, there's a level where God's one, totally, unity. And then there's a question of how much on our perspective is God revealed as one.
Yeah, exactly. We won.
And, okay, so chapter 1.
Yeah.
We're just doing English?
Yeah, this is English. Yeah.
Okay, so it's written, V'yadat know this day, and take it onto your heart, V'shivos al vavcha, ki Hashem hu Elohim, because that God is the God, and the heavens above and the earth below, and there is none other.
Yeah, so simply he's talking about, it seems to say that there's no other gods that are in the heavens and earth. There's only one God, meaning there could be other stuff that it's not God, but there's only one divine being.
Well, keep going. He asks a sharper question.
A simple meaning. Then I'm reading the note right here. This is, according to the initial understanding, before we learn Tanya, we say, okay, there could be other stuff, but there's no other gods, at least. Maybe there's like other stuff, but no. And then I was going to say...
Now he sets up this like crazy question. He's like, but this requires explanation. For would it occur to you that there's a God soaking in the waters? Nishra, soaking in the waters beneath the earth?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, would you think that there's a God above and a God below? He sounds almost like he's making fun of a dualist. It's like...
Yeah. I don't know if I thought I remember seeing a commentary that people might think is referring to the Leviathan, which is like a giant, like mile-long fish that has like some this properties. I'm not sure if that's worth. Yeah. Welcome, Speakeasy. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So you remember Shia from a long time ago? I'm not sure.
I do. How are you, my good sir?
I'm okay. Are you keeping up with what we're learning?
I just got into the live.
Oh man, we have to review. Okay, so there's 2 basic Jewish statements of faith. They're like core statements. Okay, the first one is Shema Yisrael, hear Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. That's the first one. And what that seems to represent to the Tanya, the Bala Tanya, this teacher, is just this total unity of God in himself, that there's nothing else. And then he calls this the higher unity. And then he discusses this second statement, which is Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuso Li'olam Va'ad. That there's, blessed is the name of God. Oh man,
His kingdom. It's not in the Tanakh, by the way, speak easy, but it's still related.
It's not. Where does Baruch Shem Kavod come from?
I mean, it's traced back as a tradition coming from Yaakov, but it's recorded in the Midrash.
Oh, really? It comes from the Midrash. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, are you the same gentleman that told me that I should try out to fill in one time?
Are you Jewish?
Yeah, I'm Karaite though.
Oh no, I wouldn't tell you to try on to fill in.
Remember, Shia, the first time you came here, he came with us also.
Yeah, I remember you. Hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I was rough with you. I was rough.
No, you were actually very polite compared to other people on this.
I know. I made fun of you a little, though. I'm sorry.
Is that compared to me?
Kobe's a mensch.
Worse things have happened.
Okay, so there's Yechida Allah, so there's God's unity in himself. Whatever.
We're learning this book about, we call this the Tanakh of Chabad, basically. So it's like it's written Torah, but it's written Torah of Chabad.
Let's get into what it says. That's what I'm here
for. Yeah.
If possible.
Yeah.
Because so then he asks this question, specifically. Well, what's the question?
Well, it says then we said it in verse. It says in the book of Deuteronomy, it says, "You shall know today, and take it to your hearts, that Hashem is Elohim in the heavens above."
Yes, we do.
And in the earth below, and then a different statement, there's no other, meaning there's no other God. Which, according to the simple meaning,
I agree with that.
Yeah, but what does that mean? According to the simple meaning, it means there's no other God, but there could be other stuff. Like there could be like stars, like there could be the actual heavens and earth itself, which are not God, but there could be other existence. But as it explains later throughout this book, that when it says there's no other, it doesn't only mean there's no other God, but it means there's no other existence, as it explains later. But this is like setting up the stage, basically. Like when you say there's no other God, what does it mean? Like, is there still existence?
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue.
What did it say? Wait, speaking to what did it say?
In Devarim, when it talks about there's no other God, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one, right? That right there is explanation enough that it is meant to be monotheistic.
Yeah,
we're a monotheist.
Yeah, that's correct. But what does monotheism mean? Does monotheism mean there's no other God only, or does it also mean there's no other existence? Is the real question.
There's only one God.
But what about existence? That's not God. That's the kicker.
Can you repeat the question?
There's only one God, but what about other things that are not God? Do those things exist?
Other things that are not God. Well, are you talking about like what's physically in front of us? Because your screen right there
in front of us.
That's not God. Your screen in front of us is not God, but I mean it's part of. In a weird way, it's an extension of creation, is what I'm going to say.
Well,
right? The materials that were used to build your computer were established within the creation. And we are his greatest creation, and we found a way to grab those materials from the earth and create that. That's not necessarily 100% something. That's nothing to worship, but that's just an aspect of our existence as human beings. I mean, I'm still going to affirm that there's just one God with Yeshayahu 45:5. I am Adonai, and there is no other. Apart from me, there is no God. I will strengthen you, though you have not acknowledged me. I mean, it's right there in the Tanakh.
No, yes, sure, there's no other God, but this book is talking about what about other stuff that's not God, like existence in front of us?
So let's let him do the discourse. Like, let's look at the discourse. The discourse is asking, why would you even think there's another God? Like, why would you think this?
Well, the verse in Deuteronomy says there's no other God in the heavens above and the earth below, which according to some meaning, that's saying that people thought there was some kind of God in the physical earth, and Moses had to tell them, no, there's no other God in the earth or beneath the earth.
You're going into the position of idolatry, though. Obviously,
that's the point. Moses is telling them not to worship idolatry, but that's implying that they thought, before he said this word, that's implying that people at least had the possibility of thinking that there was another God. But
people certainly thought there were other gods in heaven. Did they think there were gods in the earth?
Yeah, that's the question. How could Moses said there's only one God in the heavens above and the earth below? But does that mean that people thought there was actual gods in the earth or in the?
I mean, shots from history, whatever. I don't want to get into it, but yes, people did.
Yeah. But now, yeah.
But I don't think he's really doing that. I think he's asking, okay, but if the Torah, on the level that the Torah is written for the tzaddik, not just for the Rasha, not just to rebuke an idolater, but to help the tzaddik, why is this Torah saying? This is how I'm understanding.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, the Alter Rebbe say, like, why would you even think that there's a God underneath the earth? When he says, I mean, he's implying that when it says beneath the earth, we're implying
I
that
think
the
it's
water.
more or less just a reflection of other nations at the time that believed that there were different gods for different places. Gods in the heavens, gods on the earth, gods in the earth, gods in the sea. I mean, you know, it's just an idea. Maybe
specifically, though, I want to take issue with just one word you said, and that's the word just. Because the tradition is that there's 70 faces to the Torah, Shivim Panim LaTorah. And that we're trying to get not at the lowest levels, at the obvious levels, but at the deeper level.
Interesting.
Right.
I guess I'm messing up on the trajectory of where you're going.
Yeah, this is like, we've established the groundwork, right? The groundwork is, yeah, of course people did, but I'm saying, who is he talking to? He's talking to a deeper level. He's talking to, like, okay, fine, but the people who we know, like, why I have to read the Torah? I have to read the Torah every week. So why on earth do I have to read this? Because I'm way beyond thinking that there's a separate God under the earth. Suppose, maybe I'm not beyond that, I don't know.
The Torah has infinite levels of meaning. So the simple meaning is, okay, idolaters used to think there was actual, like, fish gods or whatever. Or some people think it's like the Leviathan, which is like a giant fish in the ocean that's like only one of its kind.
You shouldn't just say the Leviathan is a giant fish.
It's like a huge.
Say it's like a giant power.
There were people who like ascribe godlike properties to certain things.
The shot is that the Leviathan is a giant fish.
Be like infinite meaning. The Torah has infinite depth, so it's this verse
70, Kobe. I know there's infinite, but the tradition was to say 70.
600,000, and each of the 600,000 is included with other 600,000. But the point is that the deeper meanings to the Torah, that even like a perfectly righteous person who like knows all kinds of deeper meanings, they would still gain from this verse. But why would people who's actually thinking like on a higher level, why would they think that there's actual God underneath the earth? I mean, in the heavens is one thing. That's all. We can't really see the heavens, but even in the earth itself, like why would they think there's actual? I mean, it's interesting. The Alter Rebbe
no, Kobe. Why would you think that?
Well, it's interesting, it's interesting the Alter Rebbe does not ask, oh, why would you think there's a God in the heavens? Like, he doesn't ask, why do you think there's another God in the heavens? Because that's kind of more like, I mean, we can't really observe the heavens, so people might think, oh, maybe because we can't really see it. So that's why they had to tell us not. But then when it comes to the earth below, that's like the main question. Like, why would anyone even think there's a God underneath the earth? And when he says underneath the earth, he's defining underneath the earth as the waters underneath the earth, I guess, which is not so simple. Whatever. I guess that's implying there's waters.
So, and he says also,
which is interesting. Wait. So why is it
more
why is it so necessary to caution us so strongly and to negate this thought by stating that one should take it onto your heart? Meaning, he could have just said, okay, you should know, by the way, in case you were thinking there's no other gods, not in the heavens above, not in the earth below. But no, Moses is saying, like, you need to have a deep meditation. You need to, like, meditate deeply on this concept that there's no other God. Take it to your heart.
mine too.
I mean, you know, if we look, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I can make the argument that Devarim 6:5 through 10, you know, Vayafta et Adonai Elias. Excuse me. That verse in itself, it talks about taking these words to heart, impressing them upon your children. I mean, it only shows that those words are significant and of great importance.
Well,
That's just my thought when I hear take it to heart.
It makes sense there because that's referring to Shema Yisrael. We're saying Hashem is one, which implies like there's nothing else besides for Hashem. That's like the higher unity. There's only one God. There's like nothing else. But then when we're referring to this other verse, which is saying you should know there's no other God, even in the earth below. Like, what's the big deal?
Why doesn't it say v'yadata hayom v'hashivos alavavcha by Shema?
Oh, right, that too, yeah.
Shouldn't it say v'yadata v'chulu by Shema? It should say v'yadata hayom v'hashivos alavavcha.
Well, it does kind of. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He says,
But this is a repetition of the same principle of Shema.
Yeah, but it's slightly different with some differences. But yeah.
Oh, fine. But see, it says Hashem hu Elohim, and then he says Davko b'shamayim al v'alatarchas aretz mitachas ein od. It seems this whole business of heaven and earth is a distinction. Why would you want? Like you would think you would put this. Maybe Shema Yisrael though is even a strong. Is it a stronger emphasis than V'yadat Hayom? I don't know. It almost sounds this is more personal.
Now the Rebbe gives a note on this, saying to add more context, is saying that when it says you have been shown to know, you have V'yadat Hayom. I mean that's referring to no. There's a different verse. It says you ata hareis ladas. A different verse. You have been shown to know that Hashem is God. This is a different verse. That earlier verse is referring to when Hashem revealed himself in Mount Sinai and spoke to them. That's when Hashem showed himself in order that they know that Hashem is Elohim, and telling them not to worship any idols. And it says lest you become corrupt and worship other gods of the lowest level. This is in Deuteronomy, or lest you worship any fish in the water below the earth. Or of the highest level, lest you raise up your eyes to the heavens in Deuteronomy 4:19. So the context of this verse is like when Moses is explicitly saying, like, don't worship any fish, don't worship any stars, etc. And this verse is coming in continuation to that. So based on that, the Alter Rebbe has a question like, okay, if that's the intention, then why does this verse need to tell us with such a strong language? Take it to your heart that there's no other like fish gods or something underneath the earth. Like, what's the big deal about that? That you need to take it to your heart for that.
Okay. So let's find out.
Yeah. I mean, the question's really answered in chapter 7, but the other parts up until then are still an answer to it. We just doesn't explain all the answers. Yeah. Do you want to continue?
Yes.
Go ahead. See it.
Oh, you want me to continue?
Yeah, let's speak easy one.
Okay. Would it can occur to you that there's a God soaking in the waters beneath the earth, so that it's necessary to caution so strongly and to negate this thought by saying that one should take it into your heart and come to the realization that's not so? For it's written, forever. Wait, okay. It's written, forever, O God, your word stands firm in the heavens. What's shaykhis? What's the relevance of this?
This initial thing is a setup question for the whole book, or for most of the book. Now we're starting the process of answering it by explaining the unity of Hashem, and then essentially later the basic answer is that later it's going to answer that when the verse says there's no other, it doesn't just mean there's no other God, but it means there's no other existence at all. And it said that people might think that the world exists as a real existence, and Hashem is guiding the world like a soul guides the body. The soul and the body are two different things. The body is like the vessel, the soul is like the light behind that. The soul guides the body, but the soul and the body are two different things. So people might think, okay, Hashem created the world, and after he created the world, then Hashem guides the world like the soul of the world, so to speak. But no, in chapter 7 it says, Hashem does not just guide the world, because the entire existence of the world is constantly being created from nothing every second. So it's not just a one-time creation that Hashem later guides later, but every second the entire existence is being renewed from nothing. So Hashem's not guiding it, he's literally recreating it to be in the state that it's in. And that's why you have to take it to your
Is it he's saying he was recreating it? That doesn't sound like stands firm forever. Stands firm forever.
No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. He is recreating it. But
No,
now,
I'm asking, that's a point of belief. I don't understand where it's derived from.
okay, that's what we're about to read, but I'm saying it's a long process of reading that. But I'm trying to explain what
But
it's saying.
right now, all we have, you're skipping steps. Right now, all we have is Udvarav, Chaim, V'Kayemim, La'ad, V'chul.
I know, dude. I'm trying to skip ahead just so people know the answer. Then we're about to.
No, but I don't know the answer yet. I want to find out.
But it takes. We're not going to answer it today because it's going to be a lot. I'm just trying to say the basic answer.
But if someone walked away, Kobe, with all that they walked away with is, and the words of God stand firm forever, and that those are the foundation of the world, that's fine.
Okay, I was just saying it's a very long, complicated proof. I'm just trying to say like the beginning.
But what I'm saying is that each step of the teaching is a valid enough teaching.
Cool.
No, am I mistaken?
Cool story. But how we derive it is a different question. Or the whole first chapter is talking about that.
But I don't know. I don't know if the world is recreated every moment. I don't know how to show that.
Got it. Just have patience. We're about to say just one thing at a time.
Let's find out.
Tell them what the ultimate answer is before we actually get to it, how we get to the answer, so that they're nothing like this over there. Makes sense.
So we should know that the ultimate answer is that it's recreated every moment. Or what is a moment?
That's why it says there's no other. When it says in the verse that there's no other, it doesn't just mean there's no other God, but there's no other existence at all. Not even secondary existence. But yeah.
Yes.
That's the basic answer. Now, how we reach that answer is what we're hopefully going to do now. Nice.
Right.
Now we're going to explain how we reach the conclusion that the world is being created every second and not just being directed. So this is the verse in the book of Psalms, chapter 119. Where it's, basically. I mean, it's referring to a lot of different things, but it's going to say, basically. So what does it mean, your word stands firm in the heavens? I mean, some explanations say, okay, when Hashem makes a decree, then that decree that he makes is like just stands firm and it's like unchanging. And like in the heavens is just the place where the decrees are made. So that's like one of the simple meanings. It's like, okay, he makes a decree, the decree happens from the heavens, and that's like the decree stays there kind of thing.
It didn't say anything about heavens.
It says right here in the heavens.
Where are you up to? Did you go ahead?
Nope. No, I'm just saying what other places say, just so, as a preparation for it.
No, I see that it says heavens, the Baal Shem Tov.
No, yeah, just explaining what the verse means.
Oh, okay, yeah. La'olam Hashem divrecha nitzav b'shamayim.
Yeah, forever your word. So what word? What word is it talking about?
And see, okay, so so the Baal Shem Tov opines, Perish Baal Shem Tov, Zecharin Levracha, that Ki Devracha Shamarta Yi Rekia B'Seichamayim, that your word refers to that there should be a firmament in the midst of the waters.
Yeah, so let's just slow down a little bit. Yeah, so does that make sense? So again, the verse just says your word stands in the heavens, but it doesn't say what word it's referring to. You get the conclusion? That's the English for now. It says your word is in the heavens, but what word? Do you get the question? Like what word?
Oh, Divarach, you mean...
Your word is in the heavens, but what word is it talking about? Your word, is that just like a general... Is that saying every word you speak or only some words you speak? The Baal Shem Tov is saying is specifically referring to one specific word, and by word it means phrase, a set of words.
I would love to hear a Shaklavataria, like a back and forth of how you would derive that it's not the other statements.
Yes.
So is Rikia the concept of physicality? I'm sorry I'm leaping, but since he says that it holds up the whole world, I would want to work backwards to say that it's the concept of physicality in general.
No, the Rakia means the sky, which means also the physical sky, where like the stars and the moons are.
That's how he gets it.
Well, one thing at a time. Let's just say
No. This is the same thing. The reason he says it's Yehi Rakia, that there should be a firmament, is because of this word Shamayim appearing in this word. What word appears in the heavens? It's that there should be a Rakia in the midst of the Mayim, which are later called Shamayim.
He doesn't say anything about Shabayim here.
What? No, but we know from the verses that it's from Shamayim. It's referring to Shamayim because V'yikra Elokim were Shamayim.
Slow down a little bit. Again, the verse just says your word is in the heavens, but it doesn't say what word. Now the Baal Shem Tov.
Yeah. Kobe.
What?
But where is the word?
1 second.
Where's the word? Wait. Slow down. Where's the word?
Take a second slowly. Just calm down.
It's in the heavens.
Your word is in the heavens. So there's some word that's in the heavens, but we don't know what word.
We do. The reason the Baal Shem Tov knows this is because there's only one specific creation that creates the heavens. And what is that specific verse that creates the heavens?
Yes, it's the actual word itself.
It is Yehi Rakia.
1 second. Let's just slow down. Let's just back up.
Okay.
Again, the verse itself is not talking about creating anything. It's just saying your word. It's not talking about creating from nothing. That's late. That comes later. The verse itself does not mention anything about creating through words at all, in any way. It's just saying the words.
Oh, that's the part I skipped. I understand.
Again, so let's just take things one thing at a time, without any preposition, because the verse itself just says your word is in the heavens, but doesn't say.
So
what.
it could be also the sun and the moon.
It could be any word that he says. Whenever he says any words about anything, yeah, it could. That's what the simple meaning is. It's saying let's look it up. Actually, it's saying it's saying whenever you make a word, that word, anything, meaning like even if it's just a decree about something, that word just stands firm. It doesn't say anything about creating anything. No, it doesn't. What are we talking about?
Liv, if your picture isn't snua enough, make it snua. Like, make yourself ready for like shadachim. No,
Brutal.
we need like eligible matches, and someone who isn't snua isn't a good match for us.
Brutal. It's verse 119:89. Just see what the. Oh, it doesn't actually say in Rashi here. Forever.
I hear Williamsburg was hard, but like there's also like other groups of Jews who are a little less intense and are still from like yeah. Okay, no.
I can't really find the other sources, but whatever. Okay, but yeah, the point is it doesn't actually say what word it's talking about. It's just saying the word.
I'm running away from New York in general.
That's brutal. This is my alternative to Safaria until I make my new website. Just using Wikisource. I want to use anything except for Safaria for sources. I'm very opposed to Safaria. Here, chapter 119. I'm trying to. Okay, let's see if
I have a Maisa in Chinuch. I think a lot of mechanchim are over on being too rough. Like, there's all these halachas about how to handle a behema. And, like, I think we can make a remez to the Nefesh Bahamas about, like, when you're teaching your behema, like, how to act, that a lot of people are, like, being too harsh on their animal, and they're like a donkey that's bent over and is carrying a heavy load, and nobody's helping to calm it down, like, to make it easier. And sometimes I think, okay, I'll be strict on myself, but like sometimes I'm just like, okay, like let's slow down for the other person's nefesh habam. You find the source, Kobe, you're looking for?
Yeah, so yeah, it's talking about a decree of it's saying even if it's talking about like a decree that Hashem makes something to happen, even if the heavens, which is like the spiritual judgment, should say otherwise, but Hashem's word will always remain the same, regardless of if there's judgment to the contrary. I'm just going to ask a chance to translate it exactly. It's saying like even if yeah, even if there's like if when Hashem says something, even if the heavens, which represents like the spiritual judgment, would say something otherwise, but it says the decree of your word stands in the heavens and nullifies anything that happens in the heavens. So that let's see.
I think Liv wants to join. Is this Shaykh or no? Why not? Okay, fine. So it's talking about any word. It's talking about Hashem's words in general, but it says the word word. Why would it? It seems like it's more efficient to say word anyways, and word could refer to words. You wouldn't think that it's a specific word. Why would it? It seems like it's more efficient to say word anyways, and word could refer to words. You wouldn't think that it's a specific word. Copy? I think we're experiencing lag. Am I still here? Can the comments see me? Can Speakeasy see me?
I read you loud and clear. Roger, Roger.
You get my questions. Am I going too fast?
You're explaining things pretty well. Explaining things pretty well.
Okay. Okay. My phone got a little brutalized. Whenever sometimes it just crashes because he won't let me up in the comments. Wait, what are you talking about?
There's a girl there's an ex-Satmar girl who wants to join.
He's not requesting.
Oh, she has to request.
Yeah, I have to actually request it.
Shalom Aleichem.
Welcome back.
There could be a little more to say here.
I'm not ex-Satmar.
Oh, I thought you were ex-Williamsburg. I'm sorry.
No, but I lived in Williamsburg. Long enough.
When you say Williamsburg, all I hear is Satmar. I know it's not true.
Was machst du?
Ich nein redst ich verstehe es no, ich verstehe es ein bisschen, aber nicht
Favor.
Hey, Liv.
Hey, Easy, מה קורה? Favor.
Hey, Liv.
Hey, Easy, מה קורה?
Liv, you must be a mitzvah because
Oh
you
my
make.
gosh, you have two rabbonim. No, not over here. Easy.
No, there's no Rabbanim in the chat.
Yes. You're Chabad, no?
No, I'm just Jewish.
Oh, you're not? Okay, my bad. So we.
Doing a Chabad. I'm starting a Chabad Smicha, but I have no idea if I'll pass.
You will.
Welcome back.
You
everyone. And by everyone, I mean.
Be'ezrat Hashem.
Be'ezrat Hashem and be'ezratcha as well.
What?
And with your help as well.
Oh, Be'ezrati.
No, we gotta make ishtadlut.
Kol b'shamayim.
Kol mishamayim, but we also need to help ourselves.
באמת, but the Awtsmoos.
What's that?
What? Awtsmoos?
There's no such thing as an Anochi that's different from Hashem's Anochi. It's like crazy Hasidish.
Everyone knows what Awtsmoos means, by the way, just like you and me and people who know about it.
I don't even know what Awtsmoos. You can't explain it.
Yeah, you explained it to me.
Nice. Yeah, it's the essence of the Creator, beyond any names
Yeah, you explained it to me.
Someone have to echo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the essence of the Creator beyond any
names.
Oh, Liv, you got an echo.
The last thing I learned in 770 with Kobe was him with his friend. They were discussing that the Anochi of the individual is in fact in disguise God's Anochi. When God says Anochi Hashem, that Anochi reverberated through all creation and created every individual just as well.
Well, let's speak English so people know what we're talking about. But yeah.
Well, she
Anyway,
knows.
No, but other people are not just her.
There's only 6 people. I am. The I am God reverberates and it creates all the expressions of I am.
Anyway,
are only
we get with this chapter. Yeah. So anyway, the Mitsudos explains this verse as saying that if the mazalos, if like things happen from the heavens, there's like the mazals, there's like constellations that could have, so to speak, some kind of spiritual effect on someone. But it's saying that even if there's some kind of spiritual effect that happens through the constellations or through the stars of the heavens that try to influence something, but it says, nevertheless, it says, your word, Hashem, stands firmly in the heavens, and therefore it nullifies anything that these stars would do to other people, basically. That's like the simple meaning, according to the Mitsudos David. Your word is firmly established in the heavens. This means that even if the heavenly system and constellations indicate to cause harm or to benefit someone, the decree of your word of Hashem stands in the heavens and it nullifies their influence. Does that make sense? Maybe? Ish?
Yeah, so saying a simple meaning of the phrase is that the name is to show that the name, that Hashem's word nullifies the influence of other things.
Of the constellations in the heavens, specifically. Yeah. But now the Baal Shem Tov is coming along with a completely different explanation, which is also like rooted in the Rizal and other places, but it's also in a Midrash as well. It's mainly from a Midrash, actually. But it says here, when he said the word explained, also could mean pirush, or it could also mean pirash, like he spread it out. Like he took a different explanation of the verse and he made it publicized and made it widely known a different meaning. So it's like pirash means explained, but pirash means to spread out. So the Baal Shem Tov has a different explanation that he publicized, which means that your word doesn't just mean any word that he makes a decree, but it's saying specifically, and the whole thing is a totally different meaning. Like it's saying, when it says your word is in the heavens, it means your word, Devaracha, your word means the phrase, not just one word, but the phrase that he said, let there be a sky in the midst of the waters, which was the initial statement that created the heavens in the first place. And that word that created the heavens is inside of the heavens. If that makes any sense. Maybe? No? So far, so good? Not really?
No, I didn't understand.
Okay. Read this paragraph right here.
The Baal Shem Tov, the blessed memory, explained this, that concept at length, and made it widely known that this means that your word which you uttered is let there be a firmament in the heat in the midst of the waters. These very words.
Yeah, let's stop there. Just to make sure we understand it. Make sense? No?
Okay, no. But I don't understand how he got that.
We're not talking about how he got it now. I also don't understand how he got it, but let's just understand what it's from a midrash. The midrash says that means that as well. So far.
Oh, okay.
Liv, is that a Yemenite Torah right there?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
I think you keep trying to change your. Oh, there you go.
That's good. Keep it. How do you even have that? I mean, I don't even know how to do that in the settings. Is that like a camera or what is that?
It doesn't seem to work. It only goes up temporarily and then disappears.
No, because I make it disappear. I mean, when I look for other pictures.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
That's brutal.
You seem to be filming your house too.
I like all these backgrounds.
It's a green screen. That's fine.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, so Shia, you get You get what it's saying so far, at least? Before we know how we divide it. It's from the Midrash, this other explanation.
So it's a
You get what it's saying. What is it saying, though? Just refresh our minds. What is it? What is it actually saying?
He's saying, well, all I'm hearing is that it could. There's all these different meanings to this phrase, but the Baal Shem Tov wants to bring out a specific meaning from a tradition that is this specific phrase.
No, what phrase is it?
That Yehirakia, that there's a firmament.
What? Okay, but I'm trying to say. So again, the phrase in the verse that says, "Your word is in the heavens." Your word really means a phrase that you said, not just one word, but a few words, which is the entire statement of, quote, Yehirakia b'sochamayim, let there be a sky within the waters, which is the original source of the heavens. The physical heavens and also the spiritual world as well is called the Rakia, where the souls go in the afterlife. There's also the heavens of the sky. So the word, when he said, let there be a heavens, then let there be a sky, let there be a heavens, that phrase created the heavens originally. And he's saying that phrase that created the heavens originally from nothing stands after they're created, after the heavens are created. That word still stands inside the heavens, basically.
Okay.
That's basically from the Midrash.
So the word that created the heavens didn't go anywhere. It's still here.
Not here, it's in the heavens that it created.
It's still in the heavens.
Yeah. Meaning before
it's
this...
still present to this moment.
This moment inside the heavens is the key, because before we learn this, we think, okay, Hashem just spoke. How did Hashem make the world? He just spoke and then all of a sudden things happen? No, he created things with the words themselves. Once the way that the word created things from nothing is that the word is found inside of the thing it's creating. And when it's inside of the thing it's creating, then that's what brings it into existence from nothing, basically. So this is the root of the idea of creation from nothing, essentially, based on this explanation of the Midrash.
Okay.
It's not so explicit, but it's based on implications.
Why not say it's... fine.
The point is, though, that the word that he said to create the heavens originally from nothing is still standing in the heavens now, stands firm in the heavens forever, la'olam, forever, not just one time. But the word
okay, fine.
Forever, the phrase that you use to create the heavens from nothing, that phrase itself stands inside of the heavens forever.
Okay. And he proves this from saying...
Well, this explanation is from the Midrash, but it's the Midrash...
No, the explanation comes up right next.
Yeah, and it's saying it doesn't explain in depth, but this idea is from the Midrash, that it means
Davar Elokeinu yakum la'olam.
Wait a second, one thing at a time, skipping. These very words and letters through which the heavens were created originally stand firmly forever within the sky. The firmament means the sky of the heaven, which is the physical sky and the spiritual sky, etc. Does that make sense so far?
So far.
Any questions?
No,
yeah?
not at this time.
Nice. So not only stands in one of the heavens, but there's many different heavens. And it says it's in all of the heavens, all of the different heavens. So, basically forever inside. Now it's adding more words. Not only does it stand in one heaven, but it dresses itself up. It encloses itself in all of the different heavens. And not only just standing in the heavens, but it adds the words to give them life, basically. So this is new things.
What?
L'achyotam, I'm saying, to give them life.
What?
To make them alive.
Yeah, to give them life. That's a new explanation that didn't really say explicitly in the verse, but it's based, because the verse just says the word is standing in the heavens. But it's implying that because the word originally created the heavens from nothing, then the fact that it's still standing in the heavens forever is also giving them the heavens life. And meaning what are the heavens? The heavens aren't kind of lifeless, but giving them life in the sense of the creation happening constantly. So it's kind of based on implications of implications. Yeah, so it's not just that the words are standing there, but they're actually giving the heavens life because they originally were used to make the heavens from nothing. And since they're there forever making them from nothing. It's like based on it's kind of like jumping ahead a few steps, but that's basically it.
Oh.
Makes sense, kind of? No? Yes? No?
It does, I guess.
Kind of. Yeah, so that's like the root of the idea that the world was created from a second. And then the Rebbe says like the fact that the words were originally said thousands of years ago is not a real problem for why they could, even though they're said thousands of years ago, but the actual words themselves are standing in the heavens now because a different verse from something was from Isaiah 40 verse 8 says, "And the word of our Lord shall stand firm forever." Meaning like anything that he says. I mean, the verse itself from Psalm also says it, but it's like anything that Hashem says is like stands forever. So it's like the idea that the words are eternal, that whatever he says. And a different verse from something. What is this from? Oh, it's not from the Tanakh. From the, what was that? Liz? Liv?
Wait, you said 40 verse 8?
Blessing.
Yeah, 40 verse 8.
Ma?
Isaiah verse 48.
Grass withers, flowers fade, but the word of our God is always fulfilled.
Fulfilled.
So
I
weird
like
to
that.
learn in English.
Interesting. So it says fulfilled, but here it says yakum, which means standing. Interesting. And then it translates. So I guess it could mean
Yakuma, but
fulfilled.
it's also from Kayam.
Yeah, kayam. So it could mean fulfilled. It could mean standing. That's interesting.
Forgive me, my Hebrew is garbage.
I feel inspired to sing a niggun.
What did you
gosh.
do? Hard to think.
Chabad.
Ma?
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
It's Chabad, sure, whatever. What do you want?
Shall dry out, the blossoms
Yeah, no,
shall
go for it.
the word of our God shall last forever.
No, but it's Pizzle Tyra for
I
the
guess some
list.
translations say some translations would say the word would be fulfilled, but here it says the word shall last forever.
Shall. No, I need to see it in Hebrew.
What does it say in Hebrew? Let me try to find it.
Okay, there, I saw it.
Yavesh Hatzir Navel Tzitz Devar Elokeinu Yaakov Olam. Yeah, the grass will dry
It's
out.
dry hay. That's what it means.
It says grass, like grass.
Grass, whatever.
Grass will dry out, and blossoms will wilt.
Right.
But the word of our God will
Well,
stand
forever. Yakum.
forever.
Yeah. Yakum means also to get up.
To get up. What is this context to this?
It's like lakum, you know? Like to sit down. There's a song like this, like a kid's song. Lashevet, lakum, like sit down, get up.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
What is this context talking about? That was the question. Speaking, do you know the context of what this thing? Or no? No. Let's talk about.
Actually, I got a question for Coach, actually.
Yeah.
What's that?
I remember when I was in Yerushalayim, when I was like 14, people at the hotel were singing a particular niggun that was, I don't know what it's called, but the tune kind of goes like, da 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 da, ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da, ya da da da. Yeah, da, 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 da. And then it goes, yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah, da, 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 da. Does that sound familiar in any way, shape, or form?
Sounds Kalbachi, actually.
Sounds like a lot of nigunim.
Yeah. It's too exciting for now. I feel like too late.
Interesting. Yeah, so I'm trying to find the context is like the words of consolation to the Jewish people after the destruction of Jerusalem, saying that's going to be rebuilt.
The first or the second?
What?
The first destruction or the second?
Oh, this is Isaiah, so this is probably the first, right?
Ezra v'Nehemiah.
It would probably be the first.
Yeah. You think?
But it's still referring to Mashiach. Yeah.
But Ezra and Nehemiah called all the Jews to Israel before the second temple, right? To return to the second temple.
Well, they did return to the second temple, but they were still expecting the third at a later time as well.
You up to seven here? Did you skip a lot?
No, this is right. This is the verse. In verse 8 is the verse. I'm trying to see the context, whatever.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so the point is that other things are not forever, but the word of Hashem is forever. So the word, I guess any word that he speaks is forever. Apparently,
We know that.
yeah. And then a different phrase from the liturgy of the morning blessings we say in the Shema, which is from the Talmud. But we say a different phrase. His words are alive. Davarav, his words are chayim, are alive. The kayamim, and stand firm forever.
Okay.
So essentially, up until now, we're talking about the heavens specifically. When it says the word that Hashem stands in the heavens, it's the words that were said thousands of years ago are alive and eternal. And even though they were said before, but since they're alive and eternal, then they're just like they were in the heavens when they first created the heavens. They're also in the heavens forever. And they give life to the heavens, just like they originally created the heavens. That makes sense. Every second. It's kind of a bit of a stretch, but that's what it's saying. Anyone still following?
Yeah. No, we know.
Yeah, you there?
What's the chiddush?
Oh, I'm entirely lost.
Okay.
The second you got into context, and I was like,
Okay. What did you remember so far that we're talking about?
I'm still to Dvar Chaim VeHaEmunah.
That's what we just finished. Yeah, that's where we are
Right,
now.
but you got into all this context. You started talking about Mashiach, and
Okay. Forget about that. What do you remember so far about what we're talking about now?
okay, but Bechlal, the word that Hashem put in the heavens is specifically the one that we mentioned, and specifically that it's still sustaining the heavens and all the heavens, including the ones. Including, and it overrides all the planets, no matter what. Overrides all the planets, no matter.
No, that override was a different thing. That override was just explaining the simple meaning of the verse, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's from the Metzudas David.
Yeah, but that's not what we're quoting in the actual Tanya.
No.
So what does the Tanya say so far, according to what you remember?
And if the creative letters were to depart for one moment, the heavens would become.
Yeah. Well, what do you remember so far about it? Just one thing at a time. Just make sure we're on the same page.
Do you want me to chazer the whole thing?
Whatever you remember from it. No, just the part about the words. Just to make sure we're on the same page.
Udvar Elokeinu yukum olam. The word of Hashem lasts forever, stands forever.
Well, first it says your word stands in the heavens. That's the main proof that we're talking about. Forever, your word stands in the heavens.
Yeah.
And then what word is that talking about?
That's talking about Yehi Rakia.
Let there be a heavens in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah.
The word that created the heavens is in the heavens. Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say at the beginning.
Okay. But yeah.
I was trying to say that you can show from heavens that it would make sense for it to be heavens.
I'm not sure about that.
It's a little confusing because it could really refer to a lot of different things.
Yeah, maybe. So the point is that
it could be referring to the Ma'iris, that the lights stand in heaven.
The lights. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean?
Come on, do I have to find a Chumash?
It's fine. Let's just go on. We understand so far what it's talking about in Tanya? Or no?
Bechlal, yes.
The point is that these words are that originally created
Bechlal, yes.
were found.
The point is that these words are.
Liv, you have a big echo. Yeah, they're never found in the heavens.
I only have like 10 minutes.
All right, well then make more time. So this
No,
refers.
'cause
So this refers not. So the heavens last forever. That's kind of obvious. But this refers not only to the actual heavens that last forever, but also creatures which perish as individuals, with only the species of the creature remaining to exist. But the individual creatures still cease to exist. But even though the animals and the creatures themselves cease to exist, but while they exist, the other creatures besides for the heavens also have a life force in them that gives them life and creates them from nothing every second. Does that make sense? Or no?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, for if the letters were to depart for even a second, God forbid, from the heavens and return to their source, which is the source where the letters come from, then all the heavens would instantly become nothingness, as if they never existed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone needs coffee.
I read this. Yeah, what's up?
Reading, there's different levels of reading. I mean, how does he even reach this conclusion from what he said
I have
earlier?
no idea.
Because this is all new stuff. I mean, the source is just the midrash, but now we're like saying a lot of other stuff now. But
Okay, so Kilo, I would say
all the heavens would become not an absolute nothingness, and it would be meaning like even if the
it's confusing because you would think that you would need a verse that says that his word stands up the heavens or something like this.
What?
Or it would say Yakum Ha'olam. Or it would say Yakum, or you would find
What?
La'olam.
It's kind of hard to understand how he derives this other stuff. He said, okay, the word is in the heavens by saying, he says, if the word would still exist, but if the word would merely go back to the source of the word, which is a higher level of godly energy that's beyond words, if the word would still exist, but if the word would side of the heavens into the spiritual worlds, then the heavens would cease to exist. So, do you get that? Do you get what they're saying there? No.
I don't understand. How did he get there?
Even if the words would still exist, but if the words would go outside of the heavens, somewhere else, then the heavens would cease to exist. Meaning, the fact that the verse says that your word stands in the heavens implies that the word needs to stand in the heavens. It's not just standing there because, but if it was not in the heavens forever, then the heavens would not exist. So it's kind of going a few levels beyond just like, it's like explaining like the reason why does his word need to be in the heavens. He's explaining like key, like he's giving a reason. He's not just explaining what the verse says, but he's also explaining the reasoning. Why is it that your word that you spoke the heavens into existence, why does that word need to be in the heavens in the first place? Why does it need to be there? It needs to be there forever, because if it would depart for even a second from the heavens, then all the heavens would become nothingness, which is kind of like another step, whatever.
Okay, so now we're touching on just the letter base.
We were explaining what it was saying. Now we're explaining why it's saying that. Earlier we established that the words that he said, let there be a heavens, is inside of the heavens. Letters are alive. But now we're saying why do these letters need to be in the heavens?
Oh, okay, fine. So Nitzav Bashamayim. Wait.
Stands in the heavens.
Okay. What does Nitzav literally mean?
Standing.
Hey, I'm going to drop real quick, actually. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, nice having you. Yeah.
Okay, so So it could have said, La'olam Hashem devrechacha nitzav hashamayim.
No,
That would have been...
grammatically correct. But yeah,
What?
that would not really be grammatically correct. That's not really the
Why?
correct. What?
It stands the heavens. No, how would you say it?
It causes the heavens to stand.
Yes.
Maybe it could have said that, but that's not. I don't think that's what it's talking about here.
No, but what it says is bashamayim, that it stands in the heavens.
Inside the heavens, yeah.
And because the conclusion he wants to arrive at is that everything in the world is a clothing of the letters.
No, the letters are inside of the things themselves, not just a clothing of the letter. The letters are enclosing the things. It's the opposite. It's not just that the letters created the things, and then the things were created in like a separate thing, but the letters themselves that did the creating are still inside of the same creations that are created. The letters are inside the thing, not vice versa.
Yeah. Why would the thing be inside the letter? That would be confusing.
You would think maybe Hashem spoke the letters, and then after he spoke, I mean, when people learn Genesis when they first starting out.
Oh, it is weird. You're right. It is weird.
Yeah.
You would think the thing hangs on the letters, but now he's saying the opposite, that the letter is inside the thing.
Yeah. When people first learn Genesis, they say, okay, Hashem said, let there be this, and then it just happened, like as if they're two separate things. Like the word is one thing, and then the result from the word is like something totally else. Yeah. But no, he's saying that the actual word that was spoken itself is heaven.
Right, so the thing is hiding inside the thing.
The word is inside the thing, yeah.
The thing is in the thing.
The thing, which is also a word, is inside the thing, which is also a word, but not really a word.
The word is in the thing.
Yeah. And thing means word, so, yeah.
I've got two words to tell you. Cool stuff.
Yeah, cool thing. Cool word.
Word thing.
Exactly. It's just a word. So earlier we explained what, based on the other verses that said all the words that he says are eternal. And since they're eternal, then the word that created the heavens originally didn't just create it originally, but since they're inside the heavens forever, it's implying that the creation is happening forever. Which is a bit of a stretch, I guess, but I guess that's what it's saying. But now we're explaining the reasoning for why does the words have to be in the heavens, and then I guess this is just implication, because like, oh, if it was not in the heavens, then it wouldn't even exist. So therefore it has to be forever inside the heavens. And it says not only would everything cease to exist instantaneously, but it would be as if nothing existed at all. Or at least as if the heavens never existed at all. Exactly as before the utterance, let there be a firmament. I guess, I'm not sure if he left or not, but whatever. Before the divine utterance, the sky did not exist at all. When the letters that make up this statement, therefore, if the letters that create the heavens were to be removed from the heavens, then the heavens would revert to the state that they were before the statement was made, which was a complete non-existence.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to follow. I mean, he explains what it's saying, but doesn't really explain why it's saying it. Whatever, that's the part that's kind of hard. But
I kind of see how it's all hinting to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get what it's saying, but the part like why it's saying it, or how exactly does it reach that conclusion? But I guess the fact that it's essentially like, okay, we have this conclusion that the word is forever in the heavens, but now based on that conclusion, we're kind of like analyzing it and saying, okay, but why would Hashem need to set it up such that the word has to be forever?
Also, so that's another question. Why does he have to say la'olam?
Yeah, I think that's the entire question. Like, why is it forever? Why? We know that they are forever based on the verses and stuff, but like, okay, once we have that conclusion, just thinking about it, why? Why would the words need to stand there forever? Why can't they just be one time? But now he's explaining, based on the fact that we know that it is forever, we can infer that if it was not forever, then the heavens would not exist at all, just like they were before the statement was made.
This, by the way, la'olam is from Yeshaya?
Which, there's a few different la'olams.
Oh,
there's
from
one
Tehillim.
One the Olam from Yeshaya, one the Olam is from Psalms 119, verse 89. Okay, so it's kind of a hard conclusion to reach, but I guess so. Saying this is all talking about just the heavens, which is the physical heavens with
I'm
the
okay
sun.
being a shtickle, but never mind. Yeah.
So the physical heavens where the sun and the moon and the stars are, and also the spiritual heavens, as it says in later chapters, where it's like this, the world of souls, where the souls are. People think spirituality is just like nothing; it's like some other thing. But no, spiritual is also a real existence that needs to be created every
There's
second.
also real existence, or there's no, or really what we're talking about spiritual is all existence.
No. The physical is existence as well, but here we're talking about the heavens. The spiritual world is still a real existence that needs to be created. That needs to have the word creating it every second. Basically, it's a more sublime existence, like spiritual, like conceptual, spiritual, like the world of concepts, the world of spirituality. It's a different kind of existence, but it's still a real, tangible existence that needs to be created. It's not just nothing. And if the words were removed from the heavens, then it would become
Still
nothing.
need to sing a niggin, Kobe. We should do a niggin so we can keep partying.
All right, sing it.
Can you sing a niggin with me?
Depends on the niggin.
What's the niggin? I'm thinking of.
Should I put on the Rebbe singing and we could just sing to that?
No, I want to hear you sing.
I'm saying once we have what it is, and we could like sing along to it.
No, not someone.
Like a nigga
The
wannabe.
original one I was thinking the thing was
Nigga. What's up, nigga? Today is actually the yortzeit of I think the Rebbe Marash, I think, or Rosh something. I'm not sure exactly. Here, let's try to find this nigga. What's up? I don't know why it's taking so long to load, but that's brutal.
It's a very like your Hasidic thing. Like take a pause and like. Doesn't the Rebbe say this, or was it the
Yeah. You know this one?
Yeah, it's Geschmack to Yid.
Oh, okay. That's a derivation of this. This is from the Psalms chapter 73 and 72. That was made for the Rebbe's birthday, for his 72nd and 73rd birthday. They made naked about it. But yeah. You're not even singing. There's more pictures of the Rebbe to look at. These are from the same day that they sang the singing. A lot of pictures. The same picture with different guys every time. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah,
You sure?
I think so. For a minute.
Yeah, and by a minute.
Not
For
just
a
a
minute.
couple.
For a minute. For a minute. Yeah.
כמו קודם, ירקיע בכל ממש, וכן בכל ברורים, שבכל העולם, אז יענו בתחתינים, so it is with all created things.
Whoa.
What? You know, it's easier to do Ian after you do Bekias.
English with slowly, so people can understand. I mean, people, I mean me. You gotta do English and slowly. No one's gonna understand anything.
Okay, so it is, so... Okay, so hayu kol shmaimin ve'efes mamish ve'yu kula hayu klal. All the heavens would become not an absolute nothingness as it would be before they existed at all. Exactly as before the utterance, let there be a firmament. So does with all created things in all upper and lower worlds. Vafilu eretz v'halezu hagashmis b'chinas daimim mamash, and even this physical earth in the realm of the completely inanimate. Hagashmis b'chinas daimim mamash, and even this physical earth in the realm of the completely inanimate. Yes.
It's after 1 a.m.
Would you like me to go to rest? Yes.
It's after 1 a.m.
Would you like me to go to rest?
All right, welcome back. My phone got crashed. So, what did you learn while I was gone?
I think I need to. I think I'm being instructed to settle toward rest. Please.
All right, what did you just read though before I went off? Anything or no?
I read Yehiraki. The point is that it's so it is with all the other things.
Yeah, that's the main novelty. When we talk about the heavens being created every second, not only is the spiritual worlds being created from the word, but even the physical matter that we see and the earth, the physical earth and stones and rocks, even that has the same words of the Creator that are standing inside of the physical matter, bringing it into existence from absolute nothing.
So what it sounds like is he's teaching us all these things about the concept of Hashem in heaven, and Hashem nitzav devrech Hashem nitzav b'shamayim, and then he goes, and then to go back to the first verse that he taught, he says va'al haaretz mitachas einod. By the way, and then he goes, and then to go back to the first verse that he taught, he says va'al haaretz mitachas einod. By the way, Kabi, Yankiv. Oy vey. Hello, Rabbi. I know what's your name?
Oh wow, look at that. Oh wow, look at that. You're still here. Yeah, phone keeps on brutalizing itself, glitching out.
I was saying all of this that he's saying is coming to teach us. It's just let me reread the first verse we discussed. V'yadata hayom, and know this day, v'yishivos alavavcha, and take it onto your heart, ki Hashem hu ha'elohim, that Hashem is the God, b'shamayim mima'al, and then I'm just going to pause. And all that we've been discussing is in heaven, in Hashem nitzav b'shamayim, and so on. And then the verse continues, va'al haaretz mitachas einod, and in the earth below. And he wants you to know that it's the same God that's in the earth too.
Yeah, not only the same God, but the existence where it says there's nothing else.
Right, and the same relationship.
Not only is there no other God, but there's no other existence, because even the physical earth below is constantly being recreated from the words of the Creator.
Yeah.
But yeah. Intense stuff.
I had a moment today.
That's good.
And the moment was that I decided not to be too hard on someone. And specifically they wanted to have some mac and cheese that wasn't kosher. And I originally would have thought, oh, I should give them a whole headache about it. And someone told me, yeah, I really should have. But it didn't feel like I was dealing with someone who was on the level of like Bechira or a Das. It was just like, is this my rishus that I am chayiv to stop them? And so what I decided was, it would be better, since I know that they want this right now, and it's hard for them. I'm not going to put them through making the whole process. They need to be satisfied that I should just prevent it from being basar v'chalav and call it a day.
Cool.
And but the thing about it was, I think I might have done a partial right thing. Because what happened practically was I felt more connected to this person. I thought what was going to happen was, if I were to be too hard on them, they would have gotten stressed out, and it would have prevented them from being able to do any good deeds at all.
Maybe.
Because I'd be whacking them. Like, should I be giving makas to a Eni Yoda? Like someone who doesn't know anything? There's sometimes the ingredients in the cheese aren't kosher certified.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a whole
when someone is coming to like observe the Torah, there's a concept I've heard, like they should know that the Torah applies to them. They should know that like they're not exempt from the Torah. But if someone's like giving it for the first time, sometimes they could like just take one step at a time. Like they know that really it all applies to them. But sometimes if it's too much for them to do one time, they could just do like one step at a time to do a little bit better every day.
So I have little stickers on my pots because they all look the same. So I have a blue sticker for dairy, I have a red sticker for meat, and I have a yellow sticker for things that got trafed that I just don't have the headache to get rid of. Because I'm not going to take away the bechira. It's not my house. It's not my rishus. And so I just put a little yellow sticker on it so I know not to use it. But I decided today I'm going to put a yellow sticker on the blue one, and I'm going to let it be that it's all dairy and there's no basar v'chalav taruvos. And honestly, and I made sure to clean under it so there's no chashash basar v'chalav.
You know, if a pot is metal, you just heat it up you can like put it on the stove.
Nah, it's non-stick. It's non-stick. Those coatings acquire taste.
Oh. Yeah, that's
at least according to majority opinions. I know there's a minority opinion that no one holds by.
Yeah, the non-sticks to that. I never get non-stick because it's too hard to kosher. I only get stainless steel stuff.
Oh, Kobe. It's really easy. I mean, for like a mensch, it's pretty easy. You just get a blowtorch.
Even for non-stick or just for stainless steel?
Yeah, you get a blowtorch and you run it over with the blowtorch. So it's called libun. I think it's libun kal.
Can't you just use the stove fire if you have a fire stove?
No, I don't think it's. That's a good question. You mean dry heat?
If you turn it like upside down, though, not like stove regular, but like stove on the inside. I think you can.
I hear you. That's actually a really good approach that makes a lot of sense and is very practical to do.
Blowtorch, because as long as it's on the inside.
I think you need to get to the point where you would burn a piece of paper or like a piece of straw.
We get to that with the stove, dude.
If you take your pot, you turn it upside down and throw it on leave it on the stove to get that hot.
We could definitely get to that point. Yes.
The reason so there's one reason that it's difficult is because I can't make smoke and fires in a house, and I haven't done the blowtorch thing in a long time. But the reason a blowtorch is nice because you can go outside with it and do it outside. I got a blowtorch a long time ago.
Brutal. Someone in the comments is asking, what's the difference between halal and kosher?
Between what? Oh, halal Halal is non sequitur. I don't care.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with each other, really. I mean, maybe there's some similarities, but there's some similarities. I mean, when it comes to meat, for example, both Jews and Muslims slaughter animals in similar ways, but the Jews have more strict laws about it.
No, yeah, they're all my pants. It's not my kitchen though, and I there's a set of laws in the Torah about an animal, about how you should treat your animals, and you know what I'm talking. Like if you overwork your animal, I think it's an isser. Am I correct?
Not sure. So I don't know about overwork. Maybe there's other things about like not feeding it or something like that.
Like you can't do tsar balei chayim, right?
Becoming unnecessary pain for animals. Yeah.
Oh, I hear.
What? What I really want to figure out is how to make a different webcam for the phone camera to make it go to like an on-screen camera. There's got to be a way to hack it. I'm not sure how exactly. But one day.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying is like this. It says in Devarim, I'm sorry, I don't have the real whatever, but it's Devarim 22. You should not see your brother's donkey or sheep collapsing on the road and hide yourself from them. You should surely lift them up.
Yeah, so when it comes to, if you see someone stumbling and the Torah matters, you shouldn't just let them keep stumbling. You should keep them.
Here's what happens. If you if you stress them out, they end up collapsed for hours and hours and hours, like on their bed. And they can't do anything.
So it depends again on the context.
Right, I'm just telling you the context. So this is the context. And so specifically, so what I'm interpreting is that this person is like a behemoth that's collapsed, like kal v'chomer behemoth to a person.
Yeah, we don't make kal v'chomers outside of the Gemara.
Fine.
These AI pictures are pretty brutal. I haven't even seen them all. I don't know. AI is pretty interesting these days.
I don't know.
What? I don't not know.
I'm trying to understand. I have the real limud on this is if I go to what's his name? Twisted Parenting. He talks about this stuff. Avi Fisher.
Who's that?
He's a guy who he's someone he deals with very at risk kids, like. And his basic approach, he talked to like 1 million Gedolim. He has a whole project with this. But the basic issue is he's like, your kid's off the derech, like you're going to go sit with them at the Treif restaurant.
Brutal.
And like, because like you need to stoop down to their level to connect with them with like straight love.
As long as you don't eat the actual food.
Yeah, he says like to go to like crazy lengths that people used to not be willing to go to.
He doesn't say to actually eat the food though, does he?
No, chas v'sholom.
Okay, because that would be different. If he said that, then I would question what he said.
No, this guy he's very like. I'm trying to find his haskamas.
But not to actually eat the food. Okay, that's good.
No, but he's saying, you might override Marasayan for stuff like this.
Interesting. All right, interesting. Who is this rabbi again?
His name's Avi Fishoff.
Interesting. Well, is he like conservative or what?
No, like Vada, no. Chaim Kanievsky, Novin Minsker Rebbe. I don't know who these rebbes are. Sadigor, he's certified by Lakewood Rabbanim. Chaim Kanievsky is the most significant. Oh, Rabbi Abraham J. Twersky. It's like a chashav inyan with him.
Interesting. Anyway, yeah, brutal. Is there any other thoughts you had about that Tanya we just learned, or not really?
No, but I think it'll be interesting either to learn Basar V'Chalav or I'm just thinking for next time we meet.
Well, there's a lot more than that Shaar HaYichud VeHaEmunah. That was just the surface level.
Oh, I know. There's a lot to go there.
But still, what we learned now is a lot. It's like everything that happens is for nothing. It's brutal. Nice.
Yeah, because the whole Inyan he says is that the Havas Yisrael. You ever hear this story by the Lubavitcher Rebbe that there was this Yid who would come and open the door from him, this big Russian guy. And there was a Chassid once who like followed the Rebbe around, and he saw that this Russian man was coming off of the subway on Shabbos. And he said, Rebbe, don't you know this man's coming off the subway on Shabbos? How can you let him open the door for you? And the Rebbe got so like stern in the face. He was like, what problem do you have with the simple love of one Jew for another?
Interesting.
And he walked inside.
Yeah, brutal.
Oh man. It's a big issue for me because I keep running into these situations where I make like an emergency out of someone else's Isurim.
Yeah, I hear it is an emergency. You just have to know how to deal with it.
I know, but the question is, like, can I be living in the emergency all day? Can they list? Am I making any impact by making it an emergency every second?
Yeah, if they're doing it anyway, so is it changing anything?
I can force their hand every time, but I think that doesn't get into the pneumius. It just makes them annoyed.
Brutal.
What are you listening to? What's the sikha?
This is about tonight. It's the same date in 1985, 13th of Tishrei. It's like the same calendar day as now. And yeah, it's your side of something. I'm trying to figure out. Your side of the Rebbe Marash tonight. So it's a special time to spread chassidus to the universe and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he was generally the one who would say like L'chadchila Riber. You heard about that? Like initially over.
Who said that? I thought that was our Rebbe.
Nope, the Rebbe Marash said it. He said that sometimes when someone encounters an obstacle, they think, okay, first I'm going to try to go underneath the obstacle, and then if it doesn't work to go underneath, then maybe at some later time I'll change my mind and go over it. But then Rebbe Marash said, no. If we see an obstacle, the first thing we do should just be to go over the obstacle. We shouldn't even think about going underneath it.
Can you give me some better examples?
Of what?
Can you give a more specific example? What does going over look like?
Like if you're coming to a fence. Like one time...
I chop the fence analogy. Thank you.
A fence.
But like a more practical one.
That's a very interesting question. I think I saw it like in regards to like learning Torah. I'm not sure if I understand it completely. Things like the idea like, oh, if I don't know if I'm going to learn Torah now or later, like just do it kind of right now. Maybe like, or if there's a mitzvah that comes, like, should we maybe like, okay, maybe we'll find other ways to do other stuff, or we're going to really do the mitzvah now, and then we're going to put it off for later. Maybe we'll do the mitzvah later, but like kind of just like do it now kind of thing. I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Like if you have a good thing to do, just like do it. Like, okay, maybe like if I do other stuff, then I'll get back to doing this good thing later. But like, okay, just like do it. Here, let's see if this Chabad.org says anything. And this website is structured so brutally, so I have to change the code to be able to read it. Yeah. Here we go. Now we're talking. I was at a Hasidic gathering at the Chabad, where the Chabad rabbi was discussing overcoming adversity. He used the Yiddish saying of the fourth Chabad Rebbe going over. What does it mean? I'm happy you asked the question. The saying is indeed used often in Chabad circles. It holds an idea that is important to articulate. The actual source is, the world says that if you cannot crawl under an obstacle, try to leap over it. However, I say, leap over it in the first place. And it says, one way I understand the saying, according to this author, this random author on Chabad.org, it's an attitude thing. Generally, when a problem arises, we go into crisis mode, trying to figure out ways to interact with and get by. What going over initially means is that we should jump over a problem almost as if it never existed in the first place, except for the fact that we have to summon the strength to leap as opposed to just walking. For example, people are often apologetic about their Judaism, keeping a low profile in order to avoid being different. With a healthy lichatchila ariber going over initially approach, you're never phased in the first place, knowing that there is nothing that can hold you back from doing Hashem's will. The same attitude of moving forward with happiness and optimism can be applied to other kinds of obstacles as well. Like it says by the Rebbe, I have just received your letter in which you describe your present poor state of health. Surely you have heard of the saying of the Rebbe Marash, the world says that if you cannot crawl under an obstacle, try to leap over it. However, I say leap over it in the first place. This applies in your case as well. Indeed, it would seem that the state of openly revealed joy should be delayed until after you are actually healed. Nevertheless, in keeping with the above-mentioned saying, it is reasonable to express this joy resulting from your eventual healing, although the actual healing has yet to take place. Not only that, but the joy itself will be a catalyst to hasten your healing. This is in keeping with the saying often heard from the Rebbes of Chabad, think positively and you will see positive results. This will be effective when you transfer these positive thoughts into joyous words and deeds. So it's like, people are like depressed, they're like, okay, I'm only going to be happy later, once I fix the problem then we could be happy. They're saying, okay, if you're in a problem, then the happiness, if you just be happy now, the happiness itself could actually fix the problem. If that makes sense. Maybe. No?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it.
Just to say, now this Chabad.org rabbi say, it's like Nike's just do it slogan. When the opportunity presents itself to do a mitzvah, just do it. Acting decisively and with joy, without overthinking. Who's the author of this? Rabbi Israel Kotler. I'm not sure if you know who that is, but I don't. But
I don't.
Never heard of him. Cool. Nice. Cool. Yeah, so
where do we learn that we don't make a kal v'chomer outside the Gemara?
maybe I made that up. That's a good question.
I know we don't make Gezerah Shavos.
No, I'm not sure about that actually. It depends on the context. I mean, for legal rulings in general, we can make up our own halachas.
But for other things, we can't make up our. We can't. I mean, for other things, we could like maybe make kal v'chomers, but not to. I don't think we can make them to apply in law. We can maybe make them to understand certain things. Maybe. But yeah, interesting. There's an art. What is it? What is there an art in? Nice. I'm not sure what else we should talk about at the moment.
Have you started smicha yet?
Maybe.
I started smicha. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but we'll try.
What are you up to right now?
It's still basar v'challah. We're like finishing it.
Oh, nice. Meat and milk.
I haven't really got into the shach and the taz. It's just very cursory.
I read the whole smicha without shach and taz a few times, but I haven't done all the shach and taz yet either.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I would love to chazer.
Yeah, the chaz is against kosher.
It's obvious when it's talking about Be'emus Mashiach, the chazer is going to be kosher. It's just talking about chazara.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, nice. Anyway, I'm not sure any more guests. We don't really have any guests at the moment.
No, there's 4 people here, but it's not about guests.
Yeah,
I guess they're nice.
I guess.
I'm seeing all this stuff about. Oh, here.
What?
I'm seeing all these things about animals. About. Where would I learn the halachas of how to care for animals?
What kind of care do you mean?
Like all the different things about like how to yoke an animal with yoking an animal. Like you can't have.
What do you mean? Oh, like if like cows with like yolks?
Yeah, like you can't put a cow and a donkey on the same yoke. I know this.
Well, that's kilayim. There's a lot of different laws throughout the Torah. I don't think there's like a hilchos animals. There's no like certain section of the law that's just about animals. It's like
everyone wants to talk about Shabbos and different things.
Yeah, they're not supposed to work on Shabbos. Yeah, there's it's in Shulchan Aruch, but there's no specific section. It's just on whatever section it's talking about. It sometimes mentions animals. What is this picture even? Like R2D2. Interesting. I haven't even seen these pictures. Just generated them automatically. Interesting.
Do you think you're ever going to be in Eretz Yisrael?
Yeah, of course. When the Messiah comes.
What about before?
We don't want to think about before because we want it to happen now. But yeah, basically, we need Mashiach now, pretty much.
No, like, are you going to have a shlichus?
The shlichus is Mashiach, bringing Mashiach.
No, I mean like bechitzanius.
We don't get to choose what the shlichus is. The shlichus chooses us.
For sure.
So yeah, basically.
How are things? Are you okay?
Yeah, so far.
They gave you an apartment. Canana.
Well, yeah, anything else we should talk about?
I'm looking at these different things. It says on Aish, it's talking about midos you learn from different animals.
Interesting.
Like you can learn chastity from the dove because they only have one partner. Good manners from the rooster.
Good manners for yeah.
Who first sweet talks and then mates.
Interesting.
Apparently.
I wonder how I know that.
I have to find it. It's not to steal from the ant.
Right.
Since
And
they take
from a cat, right?
Hmm?
Modesty from a cat. I
Not
think.
to be lazy from the ant who works hard to gather food.
But what about the not stealing?
It's forbidden to raise pigs, however, guinea pigs are not apparently pigs.
What are you reading from?
It's just a website, h.com. I could look at the sources if you care.
Yeah, Aish. It's kind of heretical. Yeah, they have all these heretical articles about the universe being billions of years old. So that's
True. Here, you want to hear the source they pull up is, let's see, 114. It's from Rashi on Eruvin.
yeah. Yeah, it's quoted in Chassidus a lot. That's referring to like how the Torah laws that we have like influence the world. Like even the animals know about it because like Hashem decided certain things should be good or bad, but whatever.
Do you believe we should live moment to moment? Should we have Seder Hayom, Seder Shana?
Or not both.
We should. Isn't it a stira to that the Mashiach should come now, that we should have a plan for this year?
Nah, it's not a contradiction.
Because the Mashiach won't change things so in that way. That you'll still have to have your living when the Mashiach comes, or no?
No, there's not going to be any of that. Eventually, at least.
Like when the Frierdiker Rebbe got everyone together for his shear, he first inquired to make sure everyone had a living.
Interesting.
But I don't understand why. Like, why does anyone need a living?
What's the source for that? I never heard that.
I heard it was a mice. I heard back when I was in Crown Heights.
I highly doubt it, because there's one thing that the Rebbe would say. It says, I think he quoted the Rebbe, his father-in-law says, people used to say, like, making the term "making a living," like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go out and make a living, but really, Hashem is the one that makes a living, because He's constantly creating everything and He's making life to everything. So the living is coming from Hashem. But we just have to like do a little bit of something to collect the life Hashem wants to give us. Like He wants it to come through our actions. So we just have to do something to be able to receive it. But what we actually do doesn't really matter. As long as there's no Torah prohibitions involved in what we do, then it's like that's like a way to receive what Hashem wants to give us, kind of thing. So yeah, basically. Trying to invite people, but there's only a few. No one else wants to come up, I guess. It's not good.
Maybe he didn't use that phrase, make a living. Maybe that's my words. But he inquired of the he spent the first two, like when they were making the first little Gemara shir in America from Lubavitchers, they said he would just, for the first couple sessions, they just sat and went around and talked about their well-being to make sure things were okay.
Interesting. Nice. Well, is there anything else to talk about, you think, or not sure?
There's always something else.
Yeah, I mean, that Tanya was pretty intense. I mean, it's beyond basic. I'd like to have some more guests on here, but it's hard to find anyone.
Well, invite a piece of Torah as a guest.
All right. Well, we had the Tanya. That's a piece of Torah. There's a lot to talk about just there.
How about a little Nigla?
Nigla. What's up, Nigla? I learned Nigla.
What's good, my Nigla?
Yeah, let's do Rambam, because the daily Rambam halacha. Let's do one halacha Rambam. while we're at it. It's because it's good luck. It's about Tuma and Tara kind of thing. It's pretty fancy stuff. Schmancy. Yeah, what about the laws of the Para Aduma, the red heifer? It's pretty intense. The Rebbe instituted that every Jew should learn 3 chapters of the book of the Rambam every day. The Rambam is the foundation of Jewish law. It took the entire Talmud and simplified it in a way that everyone can understand, whether a big scholar or simple.
Rambam is not the foundation of Jewish law. It's a summary of Jewish law.
Which is the foundation?
You're saying Rambam is the foundation for the Shulchan Aruch?
Yeah, I mean, even the Talmud itself, it's essentially just like the essence of the Talmud. Like, if someone invents something like an iPhone, are they really inventing it, or are they just discovering it?
If the Rambam was really the foundation for all of Jewish law, then Chabad would be holding like the Rambam and all sorts of different inyanim.
Well, the foundation doesn't mean the branches. I mean, the foundation is other stuff as well, but this is the foundation of it, and other stuff is built on it.
Like, would you say that a person is like Yashar if he just follows Rambam?
No, the part of following the Rambam is also not following the Rambam.
I don't agree with this statement that the Rambam is the foundation of halacha. He's a Rishon. He's not Dal Rishon. He is the Rishon. He is Dal Rishon on certain matters. There's no one else.
He's the main. He's like the Rebbe, basically. So let's learn one halacha. This is about the laws of the red heifer, chapter 2, 3, and 4. But let's do like one little thing. It says about the red heifer is a cow they would burn and take the ashes of the cow in the temple times and use the ashes to mix in with some water and sprinkle the water on people who touched dead bodies, and then those people became pure. They could now enter the holy temple. And the cow, it said in the last chapter, has to be perfectly red. It cannot have even 2 black or white hairs anywhere. But it says if the root of the hair is red, you could cut off like the top of the black part of the hair as long as there's enough to still cut it. Anyway, that's what I said earlier. Now we're talking about other laws of how to prepare the red cow. It says for 7 days before burning the red heifer, the priest who would burn it is isolated from his home. From his home. Oh, from his wife is what it means. That's what I'm supposed to say. Just like the high priest is isolated for the sake of the service of Yom Kippur. Wow, look at this. This is called Hashgacha Pratis. Because we just had the holiday of Yom Kippur, and today's Rambam, which is always different every year, happens to talk about Yom Kippur literally within 3 days after. That's a miracle, dude. Do you see that miracle?
What's the miracle?
The Rambam is always different every year. The exact chapters we learn during the calendar years is different all the time. But this today's Rambam, which is only 3 days after Yom Kippur, happens to mention Yom Kippur, which it doesn't mention Yom Kippur like anywhere else in this entire area, just this one place, right here. So there was a priest that would burn the red heifer and take the ashes, but the priest who would burn it had to be isolated for a while, for 7 whole days, away from his wife, basically. And this is part of the oral tradition from Moses.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait a second. First, say he's isolated from his house, which I thought was referring to his wife, but no, it was saying that was. Okay, no. Apparently, no. 2 things. First, he's isolated from his home. He doesn't go home. He stays somewhere else. I guess he sleeps in the temple, and he's also isolated from his wife. Basically,
does he stay in the Lishkas HaPalhedron?
I guess it doesn't say where he's sleeping. I forgot. Oh yeah, it says right here, the chamber in which this priest would abide. Abide. What kind of word is abide? Yoshev. Abide. Never heard of that. For all these 7 days was in the northeast portion of the temple courtyard. Interesting. I guess they had some kind of little house there. It was positioned there to remind the priest that the red heifer is like a sin offering that is slaughtered in the northern portion of the temple courtyard, even though the red heifer is slaughtered outside the temple. Okay, so I didn't know this. So the red heifer is slaughtered outside the temple, completely outside the temple. But it's similar to a different sacrifice called the sin offering, and that sin offering was in the north of the temple. So the point is that even though the red heifer is not anywhere near the north of the temple, my phone is lagging, it might cut out. You can still hear me?
Yeah.
No. It's about to cut out. 1 second. It's like lagging.
Okay. So yeah, the double halacha is good.
Yeah. It's still lagging, so I think it might cut out, but it's not really cutting out yet. You can still hear me
Yeah,
now?
my phone's getting low too.
It's brutal.
Hopefully
But anyway.
soon we'll see the red heifer and the coming of Mashiach.
Yes, heifer. Heifer.
Heifer.
Very nice. Good.
Shaar HaYichud
Speedily in our months and days.
In our days.
My phone's about to cut out because the camera just froze.
Okay.
But,
Been a pleasure, Kobe.
yes, it's been good so far. See how when Mashiach comes.
Man.
Now I just have to end it.
Yeah, it's time.
Not even letting me end it.
Good night, Kobe.
Good morning.